So we welcome all the viewers on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the other social media platforms. We thank you for joining in. And we are hoping that you're going to have an amazing time as we go through this segment. In this segment, if you do not already know, we go through the public life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism since the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started his public life. So all the years on this very day of the 8th of February, we'll be seeing various activities and contributions performed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as he is on his way of, not on his way, as he is reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma, authentic Hinduism, through the Sri Kailasa nation, the enlightenment ecosystem, civilizational nation. So without further ado, we'll be jumping into the first year of today's segment. So we're starting in the year 2006, on the 8th of February. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, upon invitation from the Jain community, he attended and visited the Sharva Belagola from the Mashtak Abhisheka celebration of Lord Bahubali, an ancient enlightened master. This location houses a 58-feet statue of Lord Bahubali, which is the world's tallest monolithic statue. 1800 years old, this location preserves the energy of Lord Bahubali, who is said to have meditated in a standing posture for 12 years to attain enlightenment. Following are some of the pictures taken during the visit to the Sharvana Belagola. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visiting this location and having darshan of this amazing deity statue of Lord Bahubali, which is 58 feet tall, so a huge monolithic statue. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always connecting and going to the various parts and the various sampradayas and traditions of Hinduism, working to bring Hinduism back together, to allow the coexistence and the working together in order to protect Hinduism from the persecution that Hinduism has been facing in the last thousands of years. So here we can see one such happening that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism attended to.
On 8 February 2008, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducts the Nithyananda Paramashivam Convention, the day 3 of the NSP program at Pavai Engineering College, Namakkal, Tamil Nadu, India. Here below are the pictures of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the Nithyananda Paramashivam program at Namakkal. You can see the devotees, the amount of devotees gathered to have a glimpse of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the Nithyananda Paramashivam program. On the same day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism met all the staffs at Pavai Engineering College who had come to have the glimpse of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and supported the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in hosting the Nithyananda Paramashivam program.
We're entering now into the year 2010, where we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visiting Bangalore city center and blessed devotees with darshans and boons they aspired for. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always reaching out to devotees, disciples, followers, visiting the various centers, ashrams, adinams, monasteries established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, reaching out to each and every devotee, listening to their requests, to their questions, to their prayers, giving them boons and blessings, allowing the healing them and manifesting miracles in their lives, and ultimately giving them the glimpse of the Kundalini awakening, the space of oneness with Paramashivoham. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism relating to each and every devotee one by one. One thing that we can see in the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is how grounded he is Even though he is who he is, he still relates to each and every one of us in such a relatable way, a friendly way, which allows us to connect deeper with him, and also it gives us the opportunity to experience the oneness with Paramashiva through him, as we can experience the various glimpses of the various states of consciousness, vertical time zones, Kundalini awakening, and plenty of spiritual experiences. So it is wonderful to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism so grounded, even though he is who he is.
On 8 February 2011, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives his presidential address on Seedless Samadhi Patanjali Yoga Sutra 114. Living Incarnation and Avatar, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, explained as part of the morning discourse that the Sanskrit language is created to keep the eternal truths alive for generations. Up until the last sutra, Patanjali was explaining the 8 limbs of yoga in Ashtanga Yoga. To summarize, Yama, understanding about law and the power that executes the law. Niyama, raising the coherence to the cosmic consciousness. Asana, aligning the body for the cosmic experience. Pranayama, aligning and elevating the life energy in your system through the proper processes. Pratyahara, withdrawing from the senses. Dharana, centering on the great truths. Dhyana, merging with the cosmic experience. Samadhi, completely experiencing the non-return zone, the space where you don't get separated or come back. Yes. Let us now have a few minute glimpse of where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains about the Samadhi, which Patanjali explains in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra.
Aids to the seedless Samadhi. Swami Sachidananda translates as, but even these are external to the seedless Samadhi. Osho translates the sutra as, but the three are external compared to seedless Samadhi. The beauty of Sanskrit is, same sutra can be translated in 100 ways by 100 masters. Still, it retains its originality and purity for ever and ever and ever, masters, new masters and incarnations to come and give their translation and interpretation. But still, it retains its originality and purity, untouched, available, fresh for further generations to translate and interpret as they want. Sanskrit language is created to keep these eternal truths alive for generations. See, you can see the translations of various masters. Vivekananda translates in one way. His own Sampradaya, Swami Prabhavananda. Actually, Prabhavananda is the disciple of Vivekananda's brother disciple. Vivekananda's brother disciple Brahmananda, his disciple is Prabhavananda. If you see Prabhavananda's translation, sometimes not only radical opposite to Vivekananda's translation, but in our Sampradaya, in the Vedic tradition, you have freedom to translate and interpret, comment as you experienced. So each master gives his own understanding, experience, and expression. But still, the original sutra remains as pure as it is, as it was expressed by Patanjali. Tat api bahirangam nirbijasya. I'll try to give my own understanding, my own experience on this truth. Till last sutra, Patanjali was explaining how yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, these 8 are deeper than the earlier ones. Yama is understanding about the law and the power which executes the law. Niyama is raising the coherence of your consciousness to the cosmic consciousness. Asana, aligning and preparing your body for the cosmic experience. Pranayama, aligning and elevating the life energy in your system through the proper life breath process. Pratyahara, withdrawing from the things which distracts you from the cosmic experience. Dharana, centering on the great truths which leads you to the cosmic experience. Dhyana, merging or becoming one with that cosmic experience. Samadhi, completely experiencing the non-return zone, the space where you do not get separated or you do not come back. Patanjali was explaining in all these sutras how every step is deeper than the previous one. As I was telling yesterday, the difference between pratyahara and dharana is not just quantity, it is qualitative. Please understand. Do not think if you do 2 hours of pratyahara, it can lead to dharana by itself. No. Pratyahara and dharana are not just quantitatively different, they are qualitatively different. So the quality which you need to add for you to move from pratyahara to dharana is what I call sacred secrets. As I said yesterday, from pratyahara, for you to move to dharana, the honesty to the identity which you believe as you. Please understand, whatever you believe as you, whatever position you hold in your social life, family life, personal life, spiritual life, whatever position you take up, whatever commitment you accept, be honest to it. If you are not able to be honest to all the identities you are committing, at least prioritize and drop the identities which you are not able to fulfill. Do not accept. Understand? Very beautifully Ramakrishna says in his life, in his teachings, life is an accounts. Always be ready when Yama calls you. He says, if Yama calls me now, I have no balance. Clear. Maintain your life with clear balance means any identity you accepted, you are completely taking responsibility for it. If you are not able to take the complete responsibility, don't assume that identity. Ability to renounce, give up the identity which you are not able to fulfill is vairagya. Naturally, when you give up few identities because you are not able to fulfill those commitments, you will have some suffering, you will have some drawbacks, you will have some missing feelings. Bearing with that is tapasya. Please understand. So prioritize the identities which you are assuming in your life. You may be assuming the identity of a wife or husband. You may assume the identity of a son or daughter or father or mother. You may assume identity of a disciple, or you may assume the identity of a brahmachari. You may assume the identity of grihastha. You may assume the identity of vanaprastha. You may assume the identity of a sannyasi. You may assume any identity, but be very clear, honesty to that identity completely, to the core. This is what I call the sacred secret. Honesty to the identity moves you from pratyahara to dharana, because controlling the mind is not a job like
Yes. So as we listen, that Supreme Point of Hinduism shares that in life, we should never keep any balance with us. Always be ready to accept Yama when he comes. Be ready to accept anything which comes in life, go through with it and live with it and experience it as it is. Never keep any desires or any greed towards some things, which will keep the greed with us always. It creates a pattern. When you leave the body, that patterns, none of these things should interfere in your enlightenment.
So we are now entering into the year 2012. On the 8th of February, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving the Kalpataru darshan for devotees who gathered for his darshan. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is offering the Kalpataru darshan to each devotees, disciples, followers who gathered. The Kalpataru darshan is a wonderful opportunity to meet the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism physically and ask whatever question you have, whatever boon healing you would like to have, and you'll be able to experience a very one-on-one interaction with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and ultimately receive his darshan, his touch, whether on the head, on the third eye, or here we can see the picture on the right, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving healing to a devotee, a follower who came and expressed his desire to free himself from a health problem. So like that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism makes himself available to each and everyone, attending to each and everyone. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared with all of us the powerful cognition that life is for others. And like that, since the Supreme Pontiff started his public life, and even before his public life, he used to engage with people one person at a time, causing their reality one person at a time. And that is how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived Sanatana Hindu Dharma and the Sri Kailasa nation. So here we can have a few pictures of that happening in the year 2012. Here we have a few more pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visiting Annamalayar temple in Tiruvannamalai. So Tiruvannamalai is the hometown, the birth town of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This is where he landed as avatar of Paramashiva. And this is the ecosystem, the temple-based ecosystem, enlightenment ecosystem, in which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism grew. So every time he goes back to his hometown, you can see the bliss, joy that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism radiates, we also here have a glimpse of Arunachala, the holy hill, the body, literally the body of Paramashiva, in which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had countless experiences, spiritual experiences, and was guided by his gurus into various processes. Here we have a few more pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism attending to some VIPs, blessing them with healing. Like we just mentioned, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always makes himself available to reach out to people, attend to them, and cause their reality.
On 8 February 2013, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives his presidential address on creating heaven on earth at Kumbh Mela. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism describes the deeper meaning of the Kumbh Mela, the great Hindu spiritual gathering by the confluence of three sacred rivers in northern India. When a group of human beings begins to live the four tattvas, the four noble truths of being, they create spiritual nectar, the juice of immortality, and this is heaven on earth, the Amrita Kailasa, the honey from Mount Kailash. Lord Shiva's home. The creators of this nectar live like gods when they are joined by beings who do not want to do the inner work of making Satya, reality from the tattvas, but just want to enjoy the nectar. Those beings act as demons and pull down the frequency of heaven. It is the work of each individual to embody the tattvas and share them with the world. Then the new age of enlightened consciousness can become universal. So let us now watch a few-minute video clip where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains on how to create your heaven on earth.
Today, Nirahara Samyama, the meditation process without food. Second level, fifth day we are continuing. And Kalpavas, third day, living in Kumbhapuri, doing Kalpavas, third day we are continuing. I'll continue to expand and explain the beautiful Vedic story, churning of the Milky Ocean, the history of Kumbh Mela, Maha Mela. Listen. Whenever you live these great tattvas as satyas, tattva means an idea grasped by your intellect. Satya means the idea imbibed by your biomemory. When it is your intellect playing around, it is tattva, idea. When your biomemory feels it, when it becomes part of you, it is satya. Please understand, if you are living certain satyas, just your very touch, your presence, a word with you, will awaken the inspiration in the other person. I am able to see many of our Kumbhavasis, Kalpavasis, the participants who are staying, doing Kalpavas, when they go out and say one word, people immediately catch the inspiration. When you live, when it becomes bio-memory in you, please understand, when you don't have internal fight with a certain idea, you will not have external fight when you share it with others. As long as you have internal fight with that idea, When you try to preach, you will have external fight. If you don't have internal fight, you will not have external fight. That is why the Vedic tradition, Hindu tradition, did not need an army jihad to spread its ideas. We were so thoroughly living, radiating, convinced. All we did to spread our satyas is nothing more than touching. Just a touch. The bio-memory is transmitted. The initiation, nothing else. It is transmitted. The energy is transmitted. The idea is transmitted. Tattvas are transmitted. Satyas are shared. Listen. Only when you live the principles, when you live the tattvas without any internal fight, it is satya. For example, one principle, I am giving you an example. Morning during Brahma Muhurta, you have to get up and do your yoga and unclutch. Practice samadhi or meditation. If you are still struggling to wake up in the morning and somehow you are doing it, but there is a struggle, it means it is only in the level of tattva in you, an idea. If you are just waking up like a child and running to the bathroom, your steps are dance, alive. Not even one iota, one idea. Today somehow can I get exemption? Even an idea is not there. You are just there. Brahma Muhurta, you are there, up, alive. There is no internal fight. Then the idea has become Satya. Tattva has become Satya. Please listen. I am giving you one example. I am not saying whoever wakes up in the morning during Brahma Muhurta, they are all enlightened. No, I am not giving all that certificate. I am just giving you the example of how Tattva becomes Satya. I can give you one more example. Integrity. Integrity means honoring the word you give it to you and to others. Please listen. We fulfill even the word we give it to others 50% because society's pressure, name and fame, prestige. But you forget the words you give it to you. Many times when you face some suffering, you give a word to yourself, I will not get into this action anymore. But you don't keep up the word, you give it to yourself. So the integrity comes, the first step for the integrity is honoring the word you give it to you. Listen. Many times you find a solution for certain problem, mentally thinking. And after 2 days you forget the solution, get into the same problem. After 1 week you find the same solution. After 1 week you forget the solution and get into the same problem. And after 1 week you find the same solution. How many of you cognize that you go through this rut? So be very clear, still integrity has not become your bio-memory. It is only in the level of tattva, it has not yet become satya. When you live these 4 tattvas, integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching yourself and others. With these 4 tattvas, when these four tattvas become your bio-memory, you are living a Jivan Mukta life. Your consciousness becomes enlightened consciousness. I tell you, when there is group of people living, radiating enlightened consciousness, that group is called part of nectar, Kumbhakata, the nectar part. Anybody comes inside that group gets blessed by that tattvas, and when you live those, when somebody is blessed with that tattvas, please listen. When you
Yes. So we saw how Supreme Bond of Hinduism explains that when you are complete inside and outside, everything, all the external things becomes complete. All the patterns and everything gets completed once you complete the inside patterns. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also explains that how when you live these great four tattvas, how everything what you want in life becomes reality, and it just makes you enjoy the nectar. Here, on the same year, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiates the Adinavasis into the Krama Brahmacharya, the lifestyle of sannyas. Here are the pictures where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiates a disciple, an Adinavasi, into the lifestyle of sannyas. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also gives the public darshan and annadan for the devotees who had gathered to have a glimpse of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Below are the pictures of where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blesses everyone with the Kalpadru darshan. On the same day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also invites the Shankaracharya, the Kanchi Shankaracharya, at Kumbh Mela prayer. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also meets various sadhus from around the world. Here are some of the pictures of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism meeting the sadhus, inviting them, blessing them with the evening arati, giving them annadan and a respect, which are required to be done for the sadhus at Kumbh Mela. Here are some more pictures.
So entering now into the year 2014, on the 8th of February, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the presidential address on liberated thinking and also receiving Pada Puja and giving darshan to the delegates. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that the liberated thinking thought current, Sampradaya in Hinduism, is one of the biggest contribution of Hinduism to humanity. And in that way, thousands of various dimensions of Hinduism have contributed to humanity in tremendous ways and should be kept alive. The authenticity should be kept properly, and they should be shared and flourish across the world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also received puja from the devotees, offering their gratitude for everything that Swamiji, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has showered in their life. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also gave the individual darshan to each and everyone who gathered physically.
On the 8th February 2015, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducts the presidential address on Upanishads and living Advaita. He expands on the Ishavasya Upanishad, verse 2. Kurvan neveha karmani jiji vishek chadakum samaha evam tvai nanyateto sti nakarma lipyate nare. In this profound delivery, of the Ishavasya Upanishad, supreme part of Hinduism, expands on the second verse, saying, yes to life is not just breathing and thinking, but desiring to live, taking responsibility for whatever we believe is life. When we internalize this verse, we can walk out of any disease. So let us now watch a few minute clip where the supreme part of Hinduism expands on the Upanishad, the Ishavasya Upanishad, verse number 2.
I am constantly deciding for life. Otherwise, no one can expect our Sangha to be growing. See the way we started, if you just see the journey, it was such powerful, high energy journey. And in next 6 months, you can't even imagine how we will be. Because now it is all thrown at the feet of Kamikagama. What Mahadeva has dictated in Kamikagama, even I have not read it fully, but I have already declared and I have surrendered myself to that, and I am taking all the decisions, making everything happen. Yesterday, Jnanatma asked me, Swamiji, can we celebrate this whole Shivaratri as per Kamikagama? Mahadeva has given a detailed instruction. Immediately I said, go ahead. This Shivaratri, we are going to be celebrating it as per Mahadeva's, Shiva's instruction. This decision I took without even knowing the details of instruction. It's not that I have read all the details. Just Jnanatma asked me, Swamiji, Mahadeva has given the instructions, thorough, detailed instruction of how to do puja, homa, including Guru Puja, everything in the Kamikagama. Can we celebrate this Shivaratri as per Mahadeva's instruction? I said, done, do it. Done, do it, that's all. So understand, the 11th chapter gives the procedure for Shivaratri Puja. I said, go ahead, that's it. And I have not even read the procedures fully. Whatever it is, I am deciding for it. We will throw ourselves, surrender ourselves, dedicate ourselves to the Kamikagama and stretch ourselves to the maximum of Mahadeva's instruction, declaration. Once you decide, deciding for it. I tell you, deciding for what you believe as pleasure, life, joy, bliss, and taking continuously the responsibility for it is making decision to live. Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishechadagum samaha. I learnt it from my Purvashram grandfather. He lived, I think, 98 or 99. Till the last day of his death, he woke up and did his Nitya Puja, and is the man of integrity and discipline. Never he missed a single day his morning puja, took bath, did his puja, did his meditation, went to the office, his office by walk. attended his morning routine, came back noon, mid-noon, had his lunch, lied down for rest, left the body. Kurvanneveka karmani jijivishecha samaha. There's another one extreme. My Guru, Yogananda Puri. He was admitted in the hospital in the name of heart attack. And the doctors asked him, what did you do? You got a heart attack? He said, no, just I was demonstrating some yogic practices and I think I had a heart attack. They asked, what is the yogic practice? You had a heart attack? No, I just tied the iron rod around my chest and exhaled and the iron rod broke. And this he does regularly. And I was demonstrating, so at that time I had a heart attack. Doctors are shocked. Hey, what do you mean by this? He said, come on, bring another iron rod. And he demonstrated and he had one more heart attack with all the machineries in the hospital. And the doctors reported he had 42 heart attacks when he was under the scanning and under the observation of doctors, but did not die. Stops the heart and starts as he wants. Finally, doctor said, he won't die, don't worry. Take him to house. And in the house he sat and he ate and he was making fun of all the disciples, devotees around him. And just one day, fine morning, around 8 o'clock or something,
Yes, here. Yes. So here we saw how Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands and tells us that whenever a situation in life comes, whenever anything new comes in life, just say yes to life and move on with it. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also gave an example that the moment Swamiji, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, came to know about the Kamika Agama, he just decided yes to it. Just Mahadeva. Paramashiva said it and then just flow with it. And Swamiji also shared that even I did not read the full book entirely, but still, whatever maybe it is, whatever the things we need to align with it, it might be difficult, but we just say yes to it and go on with it. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also told that saying yes to life is not just breathing and thinking, but desiring to live and taking responsibility for whatever we believe is life. On the same day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducts the Kalpataru darshan for the Kalpataru participants and blesses them with the Kalpataru darshan.
So entering now to the year 2016 on the 8th of February, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted a Q&A forum as part of the Inner Awakening Convention. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has conducted these 21 days convention for now many years. And here, during those conventions, various classes and processes are held and conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And here we have a few pictures of a casual Q&A session with the participants of that Inner Awakening. And like that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, listening to each and everyone's question and sharing the powerful cognitions, bringing everybody into the space where all questions disappears and we experience the space of oneness, the space of completion with Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said that one of the main responsibilities of an avatar is to make Paramashiva relatable. and in a way that you can relate to, so that you can use that to raise yourself higher and higher. And this is exactly what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing in this Q&A session, making himself available in a simple way so that each and every one of us can connect and raise ourselves to higher and higher states of consciousness. Here we have the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting darshans again for the participants of that inner awakening. In those 21 days program, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism used to make himself available every day, at the end of each day, receiving darshan, cleansing the muscle memory, the biomemory, infusing the powerful cognitions that the participants gathered during the day, allowing that to become a permanent happening in the life of the devotees, disciples, and followers.
On 8th February 2017, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visits Kala Mahaganapati, Subramanya, and Paramashiva from the Devalaya temples in Adi Kailasa, Bidadi.
So entering now into the year 2018, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on the inner space within you is you. He invited all the Nithyananda Sangha to cause superconscious breakthrough in their lives. Healing experiences were shared during the darshan, and the Kalashanti Puja was offered. In this video, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reveals the importance of our space dimension and how the other dimensions, length, breadth, and depth, do not constitute who we are. Let us now listen to a few short excerpts of the discourse, the presidential address given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Marriage so strongly, they decide forever in any Janma, no marriage. A lot of people are deciding that. That is why more and more by birth, the attitude and aptitude moves away from male, female. Somebody asked me the other day, why nowadays a lot of people are moving away from the so-called regular male, female attitude and aptitudes and decide to adopt different lifestyle and relationship styles, because marriage is very difficult. Marriage is one of the system humanity has destroyed. We may be the last generation seeing regular marriages. I am not saying divorce is the biggest problem in the future. There will not be regular marriages. I am not talking about 100 years later. I am talking about 10 years later. Understand? I am talking about 2028. 2028. I am talking. We may stop seeing the so-called regular marriages. We may stop seeing so-called regular, that giving birth. Because the way
Yes, so we had a short glimpse of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, expanding on who we truly are and how in today's world, because we are not operating from the right space, because we are not initiated into the right space and we forgot who we truly are, we are destroying many things around us. Here, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was expanding on how the traditional marriage has now been destroyed by humanity, and we might be the last generation to see a normal marriage happening.
On the 8th February 2020, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives the Subramanya Darshan on the auspicious occasion of the Thaipusam festival, where we celebrate Lord Muruga. Remembering his Leelas, remembering his birth, remembering his glory. So here are a few pictures of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving the Subramanya Darshan to all the devotees, Kailasa Vasis, disciples across the world.
So entering now into the final year, the year 2021, on the 8th of February, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting a presidential address and the Krishna Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting his presidential address in the picture on the right. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, since he started his public life, has been extremely integrated and active when it comes to addressing the nation. Like that, so many thousands, 10,000s of hours are available from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism doing multiple presidential addresses throughout his, since he started his public life and the revival of the Sri Kailasa nation. On the left, we can see an amazing picture of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the Krishna Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Especially since the COVID pandemic started, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the Bhava Samadhi Darshan dimension extremely active, reaching out to people and helping people to get out of all the psychological stress and ups and downs by giving them the various darshans of the gods and goddesses and the qualities that they radiate. And during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism literally invites the deity and that energy to manifest through his body. And by witnessing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, we experience the same, and those qualities start to happen and blossom in each and every one of us, pulling us out of various lower states of consciousness, lower emotions and thought currents, raising us to higher dimensions of our own existence. So with this, we come to the end of today's segment. We thank each and every one of you who followed us for the next program, for the next day of the glorious past of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the 9th of February. So we will now be entering into the next segment. We'll be listening to a presidential address, an initiation that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave recently, preparing us for the Paramashivoham Level 3 program. So stay tuned. We'll be listening to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in a moment.
Greater signs of life can be realized with a greater ability to visualize. Greater science is the equivalent word for Hinduism. When you understand the greater science of life, greater courage, more possibility, more fearlessness, more joy, more bliss. When you visualize Paramashiva with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, your consciousness becomes ferocious, and that ability to visualize, you will get involved in everything deeply. Involved people are the most delicious, most sweet, most beautiful, most juiciest beings of planet Earth.